Hello guys, Revit Wiz here. I'm just going to show you how to reinforce this continuous beam, and then also I'm going to show you how to tag the beam, reinforcing with labels, rebar labels, and also how to edit these labels to suit your preference, and also how to color code this, and then how to bring it onto a sheet. So please stay tuned guys. Okay, let's start with the rebar. So you're going to click on the beam, say rebar, and just say okay. Then we're going to go and find a shape code 37, one hook on the one side. The reason I do that is so that the rebar stops just over the column. So if we go to the 3D, you can see the bars sitting there. Just make sure this is on fine. You don't just keep that on wireframe so we can see the reinforcing. So there we have that. Now, if you want to place the same bars on the other side, I'm just going to click on this CS on your keyboard for create similar. Then I'm going to do the same. Click. Let's go to the 3D. You can see the bars are in there. So that's great. Then go to the level 2 again. And I'm just going to draw a section here. Like that. And a section like that. Then I'm going to draw an elevation like this. Go into the view. There we have our top bars. So now I'm going to do the bottom bar. Just going to click on both of them. Say DM to mirror it. So I've mirrored that bar. But let's say the bottom bars I want to be maybe white 20s. There we go. Then I'm just going to add in 2 bars. One here and one there. I'm going to make those white 10s. And I'm going to make it shape code 20. Then what I'll do is I'll copy the same bars over here. The other side. Make that shape code 20. Just a moment, just Control Z. Just change the bar size, Y10. Where is it now? And if we change that to shape code 20, let's just see. Okay. Reason for that is it snaps to the wrong side. That's okay. What we can do is click on those two. Just want to show you in 3D, we don't need 3 of those bars in each plane. So we just make that 2 at the top. Now if we go back to the section, I'm going to click on those 2 bars. I'm going to mirror them like that. Then what I'll do is I'll just edit the constraint. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to click here. It says it's 3.5 meters away. I just press 0 and I say finish. Then it snaps to that cover. Do the same with the other one. Click on it. Click where I want it to go to. Then just change that to 0. So there you can see it's done. Now if we go to level 2 again, I want to do some stirrups. So I click here on the beam, say rebar. I'm going to choose a shape code 60. There we are. And then I'm going to say perpendicular to cover. I'm going to make it maximum spacing 200 centers. There you can see it's going to go from column to column. I click, so it's done. And then this side, column to column. And there we go. Now if we go into the 3D view, just going to put off the grid lines and the levels so it doesn't get in our way. Okay, there we go. So now you can see our rebars is done. You can maybe add in top bars additionally if you'd like over the column. So if you want to place a top bar in the middle over the column, you're also going to click on the beam, say rebar. Say we wanted to make a big bar, maybe 2x32s. Near face, parallel to cover, we wanted a fixed number and 2 of them. Now you're going to see it's going to display the bars like this in a vertical direction, but just press space on your keyboard. Then you'll see it is going to go in the horizontal plane. Now I want to click. Now you'll see it sits here. So obviously all the bars are overlapping, but we can change that. So we firstly want to move these bars a certain distance over the column. So once again, I'll go edit constraints. I'm going to click here. And then I'm going to say I want it to move away from this face. So let's say I want it 1.5 meters to the right, like that. Just click away. Then the constraints on the other side, I want that bar to go from this face, go back here, and you say 1.5, and enter. Now you can see it's 1.5 to the left and 1.5 to the right. And we say finish. Okay, now I'm going to move this section just so that it cuts through all the bars. So if I go into the section view, just make sure this is on fine, and then maybe change the scale to 1:10. You can just bring this up and down so we are working within this space. So now you can go and move these bars just so that it sits within your stirrup. Okay, so let's edit the constraints. I'm going to say I want the bar, this bar, to go from that edge, let's say by maybe 25 mils, rather minus 25, like that. Let's make it minus 50. That looks better. Then we're going to do the same for that bar, 50, also minus 50. And then you say finish. Then I'm just going to move it, MV on your keyboard, move it down so it sits there. I'm going to do the same with the top bars. I'm just going to first move them down. Then I'm going to edit the constraints again. I do the same principle, click here and click there. Then I'm going to say I want this to move maybe 30 mils. Sorry, minus 30 mils. Something like that. Now I say finish. Let's just move this down and to the left so it sits there. Then I can edit the one on the left, or on the right rather. I'm going to say I want it from that face to that face. Minus 25. See, there it goes. It's more or less, if you really want to be accurate, let's say 20. There we go. Something like that. Then these bars here, you can either drag them in like that, or you can do what I did with the constraints. The constraints is just more accurate work, but if you move this in just for illustration purposes, you can also do that. So let's do the same for the bottom bars. Edit constraints. That to be minus 30. And then this one from here, minus 30. Something like that. And just move it up a bit so it sits there. Now you can clearly see the bars are spaced and positioned within your stirrup, which is great. Now, if you want to tag your reinforcing, so you don't have to do it manually by text, you do it by tagging your category. So you go to annotate, tag by category, Then I hover over the bar and I click on it. So now what you will see is you have 1y32 and your bar mark is 08. So how you know that is if you click on this bar, it says here rebar number 08. Okay, so if I click on the rebar tag again, I go to my properties panel and I click here, you'll see there's quite a few number of preset Revit rebar tags that you get within your structural template. So if I go to quantity type and number, it shows you 2y32s. Now, the reason for that is when we did the reinforcing, we said, if I click on this, we said we want a fixed number and we want two of them. So if I had to change those two to 3, that bar automatically updates, or that quantity. So this is a very powerful tool. So I want to show you how to edit this and make it your own family rebar tag. So before I do that, I just want to also tag the stirrup. I can show you if I click here, go to the drop down and click there. It's going to tell me there's 24 of these bars, Y12s spaced at 200 millimeters, and the bar mark is 07. But we want to also change that one. But firstly, let's just do the, let's call it the rebar top and bottom tag, and then we will do the stirrup tag. This one can also be called intermediate tag. So top, bottom, and intermediate tag, and then stirrup tag. So I'm going to click on the tag, go to edit family. Now you're going to see there's a lot of additional, or not additional, but a lot of tags in this specific file or template, family rather. So as you say file, save as, always save as the family. Then I'm going to call this rebar tag top and bottom, whatever you'd like, say yes if you're overwriting it. Then I'm going to delete all of these tags or labels, and then I'm going to go here to family types, and I'm also going to delete all of these family types because we don't need them anymore. I'm going to keep the last, we'll keep this one for now. Say new, then we're going to say rebar top and bottom, like that. Then I'm just going to delete all of these parameters. We don't need them. Might seem tedious, but once you've done this, you have your rebar tag set up and it's easy sailing. So now we don't have any tags in here. So what I'll do is, or before I actually do that, just press VV on your keyboard, go to annotate category, just tick that box and tick it there. So we can just see our center line. So then we go to create, here to label, and then we're going to pick the center there. Now it's going to ask us what do we want to put in this label. So firstly we want the quantity. So we're going to put that in. Then we want the type name, that is your bar diameter. Then after that, we don't want the spacing yet. We want our rebar number because this is only for the top and bottom bars. Rebar number. And then we also want to add in the comments. So the comments are we're going to use for indicating top and bottom steel and intermediate steel. Okay, so we have our quantity, type name, rebar number, and comments. So you can add a prefix, so a dash maybe, just between your type name and your rebar number, if you'd like. Same with your rebar number and your comments, but that's all up to you how you want it to look like. You say apply and okay. Now you see it's created this tag for us. Doesn't say much at the moment or mean much, but once we load it in, you'll understand. So load into project. Okay, so it's loaded now. Just go back to our section. We're going to click on this bar or rebar tag, drop down menu. There's our tag that we created. There we have 2-y32-08. Now you're going to ask me where's the top and bottom. So now if I click on this bar, I go to the properties panel and I scroll down, you'll see there's a comments tab here under identity data. You're going to click there and you're going to say T for top and press enter. And there it pops up. Now we can do the same for the rest of them. Let's go and quickly tag them. So I'm going to click on this one, press CS on my keyboard. That's for create similar. So then I'm just going to create a few of them and then I'm going to just make it a bit neater. Okay, so let's just pull that to the top here. Just make them line up, something like that. Then we can do that. Bring this one out to here. And that one to there. Okay, so now we can change that to also display the top. So I'll do the same, go comments, but now there's a drop down menu. As soon as you've typed in something and it's allocated to a specific rebar tag, it will come up in the annotation in the drop down menu of the comments. And this one I'm going to call int for internal. See, there it goes. So if I click on that one, just go to comments, int, there we are. In this one, it will be your bottom. So type in B, enter, that's your bottom steel. Okay, so now that we've done that, now we can go and edit the stirrup tag. So instead of going edit family again, doing the whole process, it's going to take a bit of time, but instead of doing that, we just go back to the tag that we have already created. And we're going to say file, save as, family, call it rebar tag stirrup, save it. Then go to family types. Make sure you rename this to stirrup. Okay, apply, okay. Now we want to edit the label. What we want to add here is our spacing. Let's add it in here, but I want to move it up. So it's the quantity, your bar diameter, your spacing, your rebar number, and then comments. Actually, I want the rebar number and then the spacing. Yes, and then the comments. Okay. Now I'm going to say apply. Okay. Obviously, you can set it up the way that you'd like. This is just the way I do it. Drop down menu, go to stirrups. There we go. Now 24 Y12s. We have the bar mark 07 and it's spaced at 200. But I don't want the millimeters to be displayed there. So how you remove that? So we go to manage. Then we go to project units. Go to structural. And then we look for reinforcement spacing. And I just change the symbol to none. And okay. Now we have it like that. Now I want that text to display the stirrup. So I just go down to comments. Type in stirrups. And enter. There you have your stirrups. So what you can do now is if you'd like an arrow on this leader, you can go to edit type. There where it says leader arrowhead, and just change that to, let's say, arrow filled large, apply and okay. Now you can see it's added an arrow. You need to do the same for the stirrup. It is large. There we go. If you don't want a leader, click on this tag, go here, say click on the leader, it takes it away. It's all up to you how you want your work to be displayed. Now we can go and dimension this beam. Press DI on your keyboard for quick dimensioning. You can dimension the beam so we know the size. Just bring that in. This is your corp or crop box rather. Okay. You can also tag your beam. TG on your keyboard. Click once. Your beam size. Just move it like that. You can edit this tag in the same way we just did now. Keep it on standard. So edit, just go, also make it large. There we go. Okay, that's how you do it. Then if you want to go and give these bar marks or allocate bar marks in your elevation, you can go and do that. So let's maybe make the scale 1 to 25. So now once again, I press TG on my keyboard. Now that we've set this up, it's going to be very easy. You click here, click the one at the bottom, then we go to the other side, click there, you'll notice the 3Y20 is 03 and the 3Y20 is 04 are different bar marks. The reason for that is obviously because of the length of this bar. This bar is longer than the bar on the left. So now if you want to tag the ones internally, you can put off the leader and we can just click, then you can go and just space it a bit above like that. You can actually copy this over. So you click on them, you copy, and hopefully if I click on that one, yeah, there we go. Actually snap to the wrong one. I didn't want to snap to the stirrup. Let's see, if I create similar, there we go. And then we can do the stirrups. Pick your leader again. There we are. And there we are. So just want to pull that up. In this one, just going to pull that up. But we want to just call this or give this comment also a stirrup. Just do it to that side so it's neater. These bars, we want to also just say here, that's the top. Those two intermediate. Then your bottom bar is the bottom. Okay, and now you can go as far as, instead of doing that tag, you go to annotate, multi-rebar, aligned. So then you click on the stirrup and it automatically tags each of them. You click again. But now you'll see that the way it's been tagged is different than the way we've set it up. So now you can also go in here and go and change this. So how you do that is if you click on this rebar tag, you can't edit it here. You need to say select tag, then say edit family. Now I'm just going to overwrite this one. So I'm going to just delete those lines. We don't need them. Then I'm going to click here, edit. So dimension count, I'm going to remove that. We just want the quantity, move that up, type name, rebar number, and once again, we need our spacing and our comments. Okay, we'll put in a dash and a dash. Apply, okay. Now I'm just going to stretch this a bit. Otherwise, if I don't do that, it's going to be all cramped up in the text. Load that in, overwrite. See, it's been displayed for us. So now you're gonna wonder why this it does look a bit odd, because you don't want to tag each stirrup. I want to click on this. We're gonna go here, select bars in rebar set to show, and I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna say select none, and I just want to show that bar. Now click finish. Now you see that it's only referencing it to that specific bar. It's just neater. Just move that down. I'm going to delete this one. Then I'm going to click here, create similar, do the same on that side. There we are. Automatically updates the quantities. Then I can click here. Instead of doing that whole process, you can either just click on this one just to show the middle bar. There you go. Then if that's in the way, just move that out like that. Also move that up, that one down. Now we can go a step further and we can actually color code these bars. Let's just change the stirrups to R10s. R10s, there we go. See how it automatically updates it. It's wonderful, this Revit program. So now we go VV for visibility graphics. We go filters, add, edit and new. And then we're going to say new here. And we know that we have a Y12 bar. And then I want to go just drop down menu structural, untick architectural. Then I'm just going to go down to structural reinforcing or rebar. Then I'm going to go to type name. So that's the bar diameter. Want it to be equals to, where is it? Oh, sorry, not type name. No, it is type name. Oh, there it is. Apologies. Y12, apply. Now I'm just going to duplicate this. I know that we have Y20s. So if you set this up before you start your project and you just use these same, call it, details and preset families and all of that in your next project, it's going to be a breeze. So you have Y32s. So it takes time to set it up, but once it's set up, it's going to work so much faster and easier. I also have R10s. Where is the R10? Okay, so I think I've covered, oh yeah, and the Y, and the Y10. Rename, Y10. Just go Y10, apply. Okay. Now I want to add them, so I click on that one, hold Control on your keyboard and just click with your mouse. There you go. Now I'm going to click here at the bottom and hold Shift in my keyboard so I can select all of them. Go to override the pattern. The foreground, I want it solid. In the color, I want it green. And I say apply. But now I'm just gonna put this in order like that. But now all the colors are the same. The reason I did that is just it's quicker the way I did it now. Just to select all of the solid elements instead of clicking on each one and saying solid. But it's up to you how you want to do it. But now I'm just gonna literally go and change each color. Just gonna give it random color names. Random colors rather. This one, maybe cyan. And the Y32s, I'll make orange. Apply. Okay. There you can see it has now color coded the reinforcing. We just tag those two Y32s. There we go. So now it's color coded our reinforcing for us. Okay, so if we go to the section, you'll see that it's not color coded. So how you can fix that quickly is we've already set up the filters here. So we're going to go to view templates, create template from current view. I'm just going to call this filters rebar. Okay, and now I just want to untick everything except the filters. That filters I want to be, it still needs to be ticked. Okay, and okay. Now I'm going to go to the section here in identity data. It says view template. I'm going to go none, where it says none, click there. And go to filters rebar. I'm going to say apply and okay. Now, obviously it's only the stirrup. The reason for that is because we have not cut through the stirrup, but we have cut through the bars. So I want to show you what that means. So if we go and say edit the filters, we need to actually do the lines of the cut portion. We have to overwrite that as well. Otherwise you will not be able to see the colors. So I'm going to hold shift and press the mouse button. Solid line, I change it to green, okay, and okay. Now I just want to go and change the colors to match on the left side. Okay, cyan. And the last one will be orange. Apply, okay, apply, and okay. So there you have your section and your elevation that is color coded. Now you can go and add that onto a sheet. We right click here by sheets on the left hand side, say new sheet, just A1 metric, opens for us here. So now I know I have a layout on level 2, which is this layout here. Just go, apologies, just go to the sheet, you pull in your level 2, like that. Then I will pull in my section 1 and my section 2 and then my section 3, which is the elevation. I do have a video on the actual viewport names that you can go and create yourself so that you don't have to be confused with the viewport names. But yeah, this is how you actually go and tag your reinforcing. You notice the section is not set up, so I'm going to just show you a quick way to do that. So if I go inside this section here, I'm going to go to filters rebar and I'm just going to say none. I'm going to go to modify, not modify rather, view templates, create template. I'm just going to call it section view rebar. And I'm going to leave all of this ticked. Okay. Now, I'm just going to delete this section and I'm going to go into the section view. So now if I go here to none and I say section view rebar, I want that template and I say okay. It already puts it to the scale that previous rebar is, and it also color codes it for me. Then once again, you can go and move these bars around to fit within the stirrup, and you can just tag your categories within this section as well. So then we can pull our section 2 here, and there you can see we have the same view template set up for these two sections. So guys, that is how you do a continuous beam reinforcing and also tagging the different reinforcing bars. So yeah, once again guys, thank you for watching and thank you for all your support. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.